everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel, and in this Marker Mondays episode, I decided to sketch and color some things from outside. So I know initially I said in my last video that this video was going to be practice with hands and feet, but I just happened to be outside and the weather was so nice, and I decided, you know what, let's do some plants. Plants are definitely not my thing, so I just want to say that first of all. I find them extremely challenging. As you can see with these sketches, it's just so many different and uneven edges. There's not always like consistency with the shape, so it's a little bit challenging. I was going to sketch and color outside, but the sun was just like messing up the view with the camera, so I ended up switching to a different spot. But yeah, so I was really excited to do this because, again, I don't do plants, I don't paint them, I don't draw them, but this happened to be a challenge. So, you know, we always want to challenge ourselves with art, but it ended up turning out much better than I expected. I did consider outlining these with like a color pencil, but I didn't have those on hand, so I just used my pen and just kind of did these little rough edges and lines to just add a little bit of texture to the drawing. With that being said, you will see when I get to my third item that I color that it is really challenging. This one here was kind of just like one color mostly, but when I did this is a rhododendron. You could see in the picture there's a lot of flowers going on. And when I first started sketching it, I was trying to do too many details, and I said, forget it. I'm just gonna go right into coloring and see how it goes. So I actually was getting ready to scrap this page because I was just getting myself very overwhelmed. I was doubting myself. But then I just, I was like, you know what, I just have to go for it. I don't want to give up on it. That's all part of the process and part of the challenge and part of improving your skill. So as much as we hate to go out of our comfort zones because sometimes things turn out really lousy, sometimes they'll turn out okay. And I personally feel like this one ended up turning out okay, but it took me a little while to get there. This one definitely took the most work out of, like, thought process wise compared to the two leaves that I just did. And in the rest of this video, I do end up making 3 more drawings. So I'm going to make a bee next, and then I make a hosta, which you'll see at one point I label it wrong. My brain is just thinking of other plants. And then after that, I make wisteria. So I will say now, the wisteria was definitely my least favorite. That was when I couldn't quite figure out how to get it to look how I wanted. But if you have watched this far and you plan on watching the rest, thank you. And I am hoping in the coming weeks, or maybe in another month or so, that I can make some little shorts of other little paintings that I've been working on. I have some acrylic paintings and oil paintings, and it's not a time lapse just because they're so small, but hopefully I can share those. So thanks again for watching.